A very good afternoon. Nice to have you join us on the news at 5, reaching you from Channels Television's global headquarters in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm Dominic Iwiwu, and these are the stories and reports we're tracking at the moment. The Senate has constituted a 7-man committee to further collate, harmonize, and distill contributions and opinions of lawmakers on the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2026 and present a consolidated report to the Chamber next Tuesday. The decision followed the consideration of the provisions of the bill for over 2 hours in a closed-door session. The newly constituted committee is chaired by the chairman of the Senate's Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, Senator Ni Adegbomore. Other members of the committee are Senators Adamu Alero, Senator Aminu Tambuwal, Senator Adams Oshomole, Senator Danjuma Goje, Senator Tony Wonye, as well as Senator Titus Zam. The committee has been given 3 days to tidy up its work and submit its report for consideration during the next plenary session scheduled for next week. Now, an investigator with the Department of State Service has told the Federal High Court, Abuja, that the complaints of victims against alleged terrorism negotiator Tukur Mamu corroborated with the investigation of the service. The 6th prosecution witness in the ongoing terrorism trial against Mamu says many of the rescued victims of the 2022 Abuja-Kaduna-bound train attack lodged complaints in the office of the Department of State Service, DSS. The witness, a DSS operative, made the disclosure to Justice Mohammed Umar while being cross-examined by the defense counsel, Johnson Usman San. The lawyer had asked the witness, who gave his testimony behind a witness screen for security reasons, to confirm if any of the rescue victims, including the wife of the commandant in Jaji, made any complaint against the defendants to the DSS. The witness answered in the affirmative. Counsel for the DSS, David Kaswe, however, prayed the courts to restrain the defense lawyer from delving into questions that might touch on the identity of victims or witnesses in the case, since the court had granted protection to all. Responding, Usman told the court that none of the names he called was a witness before the court. When he was asked if the 6 victims were interviewed in the presence of Mamu, the witness responded in the negative. After the cross-examination, Kaswe told the court the prosecution's intention to close its case, but Usman told the court that they would rather apply for a date to open their defense. He added that they will not file a no-case submission so that the world can see it and God can see it all. Justice Umar subsequently adjourned the matter to April 23rd for Mamu to open his defense. Now we head over to Zamfara State, where controversy is trailing the reported disappearance of APC social media influencer Bashir Issa Gusau, allegedly picked up on Wednesday night at a football viewing center in Gusau metropolis. The Zamfara APC claims Gusau was taken away by men who identify themselves as DSS operatives attached to the government house, alleging that shots were fired into the air to disperse onlookers before he was driven to an unknown location. The party says efforts to trace him have failed, with his phone line switched off. The state government has strongly denied the claims, insisting it has no knowledge of any arrest. The police command also said it was unaware of the incident, adding that no report of abduction or related attack had been received, but promised to make further inquiries. Now, a board member of Enough is Enough Nigeria, Yemi Adamolekun, has narrated the events that led to the use of tear gas by the police during yesterday's demolition protests. She refutes claims of gunshots and confirmed that 2 people sustained injuries that required being hospitalized, and about 6 persons were arrested, but later 4 persons were released, while 2 people still remain in police custody.
So the protest was to the State House of Assembly, which is a body of elected representatives. Now, a few of them came out to address the crowd, and the crowd was like, look, we're on the road. You designed the House of Assembly to have a place where citizens can be addressed. There's an amphitheater in there. We want to come in so all of us can be addressed and we can be seated. They said no, that because they can't guarantee what would happen, anything can happen, destruction, so they wanted representatives. And the protesters said no, that we're all elected, we're all citizens, and we don't want to send people. So the House of Rep members got upset and walked away. I was there, tear gas in my face, tear gas in my throat. Other people had that, would cough somebody. I mean, quite a number of people talked about their chest still paining them. At least 2 people where you can sustained injuries that require them being taken to a hospital. Then you have 2 people, well, about, I think 5 or 6 people that are arrested. 4 of them have been released. 2 of them are still in the custody of police. For a lot of people, what happened to the gentleman seemed like a gunshot wound. But I will say this, that all that I'm aware of that happened yesterday was tear gas. Now, I think for some of the journalists complained that it was shot so close to people standing that someone might have been injured by a canister that then felt like a gunshot wound.
Meanwhile, the Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Olorundare Jimoh, has dismissed reports of gunshots during the Makoko protest at the State House of Assembly, insisting that no firearms were discharged by security operatives. The commissioner said the protest turned disruptive when demonstrators blocked the road, preventing other residents from going about their lawful activities and obstructing free movement in the area. He was speaking on our program Sunrise Daily.
The protest starts from the Ikeja underbridge, and when protests commence, it's for you to show your grievances in a peaceful manner, for you to be heard. No gun was fired throughout the entire process of the protests yesterday. The minimum force we can use at that point in time is the tear gas smoke canister to be able to disperse them promptly. And they were dispersed, and immediately the road were open to public use. And I want you to know that the public interest overrides any other interest, including that of the police, including that of the protester. So we shouldn't take loss into our hand by blocking the road. So far, so good. No death was recorded. So we arrested Taiwo Hassan, who is an adult, and equally arrested Dele Frank, who were in the Canter Toyota lorry that was used to block the highway. That is why we arrested them. But we will not allow any individual or group of individuals to cause commotion, pandemonium, or other breakdown of law and order in anywhere in Lagos State.
Ahead of the 2027 general elections, the Progressive Governors Forum is reaffirming its collective commitment to deepening internal democracy, strengthening party structures, and advancing reforms that promote transparency, accountability, and inclusiveness within the All Progressives Congress across all levels of the Federation. Chairman of the Forum and Governor of Imo State, Mr. Hope Uzodimma, disclosed this at the end of its high-level meeting held at the Imo State Governor's Lodge in Abuja. In a communique read by Governor Hope Uzodimma, the forum emphasized the importance of transparent and coordinated financial management in the conduct of congresses and conventions, ensuring fairness, consistency, and accountability across all states, including those without APC-governed administrations. The forum equally expressed its appreciation to the APC National Chairman, National Secretary, and members of the National Working Committee for their constructive engagement, reaffirming its readiness to continue working closely with the party leadership to deliver a credible, transparent, and unifying Congress and convention process in the interest of Nigeria's democratic growth. The meeting was attended by governors of Niger, Kebbi, Taraba, Plateau, Edo, Kaduna, Ebonyi, Delta, Ondo, Kogi, Sokoto, Lagos, and Akwa Ibom states. Others are the deputy governors of Katsina, Borno, and Gombe states.
The forum reaffirmed our commitment to deepening internal democracy, strengthening our party structure, and advancing the reforms that promote transparency, accountability, and inclusiveness within the party across all levels of the Federation. The Progressive Governors welcomed the comprehensive briefing by our National Chairman on the ongoing national e-registration and digital membership update, which has recorded significant growth in our numbers, including increased youth participation and the integration of National Identity Number, NIN. The forum noted that this initiative will enhance data-driven planning, improve democratic and demographic insights, and strengthen grassroots engagement across states and communities. The forum reviewed and endorsed the proposed timetable and the institutional framework already approved by the National Executive Committee of our great party for the forthcoming World, local government, state and zonal congresses, and the National Convention.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says the second phase of the continuous voter registration exercise will be used to expand access to new registrants in Lagos State. The resident Electoral Commissioner for Lagos, Professor Ayobami Salami, said this during a press briefing which held at the state INEC headquarters in Yaba. The Commission assured the electorate that it remains firmly committed to ensuring that every eligible Nigerian citizen resident in the state is afforded the opportunity to register and actively participate in the democratic process across the 20 local government areas of Lagos State.
It is important to note that the second phase of the CVR is designed to further expand access for those yet to register and to ensure that no eligible citizen in Lagos State is left behind. As we progress in this second phase, the Commission has resolved to devolve registration operations from local government level to registration areas across the state. This strategic shift is aimed at bringing INEC closer to the people, enhancing access, reducing congestion, and improving service delivery. INEC Lagos State is fully prepared to deliver a smooth, transparent, and credible registration exercise. Together, let us ensure that this phase of the CVR is peaceful, impactful, and a further step towards credible elections and a stronger democracy as we march towards 2027.
The Plateau State government has approved 10 new road projects at the cost of 160 billion naira as part of a broader infrastructure drive aimed at improving access, safety and economic activities across the state. The Commissioner for Infrastructure, Joshua Levin, disclosed this while briefing journalists on the progress of ongoing road and street lighting projects in the state. Our correspondent, Percy the Bank, completes the story.
From heavy-duty road construction to bridge works and street lighting, infrastructure development is gradually reshaping major corridors and communities across Plateau State. Contractors are currently visible on several sites with earthworks, asphalt laying, drainage construction, and bridge installations ongoing in different parts of the state. Briefing journalists on the development, the Commissioner for Works, Joshua Levin, says the government has approved 10 new road projects covering several local government areas, including major reconstruction works, new road networks, and bridges.
It's going to add value and reduce stress of our citizens who struggle from the headquarters to the state capital. But with this road now, the state is cost, and then the economic activity is booming, the agricultural impact is more because there will be no wastage of farm produce anymore because accessibility to the market is quick.
Beyond the newly approved project, over 18 major road projects are currently ongoing, while several others have been completed or are at the advanced stages of execution.
These roads are deliberate, and these roads have great impact on the people, lives within those communities, apart from for commuters alone, but for our own agriculturalists, security network, tourism and culture, and a lot. And connectivity, easy connectivity. So this is the importance of, this is why we embark on this project.
Many residents confirm that commuting is already much easier and improving daily life.
Usually some of the streets, you pass them at night and the place is just dark. But recently we have street lights, the solar street lights, and everywhere is lit, and environment at night is comfortable.
When one thought he was going to be distracted as a result of the court issue that came up after it was announced the winner of that election in 2023, I mean, the speed at which they were doing infrastructure on the plateau was massive.
The commissioner gives assurances that the state government remains committed to completing all projects according to specification as infrastructure development continues to take center stage in Plateau State. Percy Dabang, Channels Television News.
The Academic Staff Union of Universities, Taraba State University chapter, is threatening to embark on an indefinite strike action over the welfare of its members. The union says the patience of its members has reached its breaking point and the time for silence is over, as it asks the state government to take urgent steps to address its lack of pension scheme, paid withheld salaries and earned academic allowances, among several others. The state government is, however, asking for more time, as it assures the union members of addressing their challenges.
Members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, Taraba State University branch, chanting solidarity songs before embarking on a Congress meeting to take steps toward ensuring their demands are met by the state government. Issues such as arrears of their earned academic allowances, withheld salaries, lack of pension scheme, among others, is brought to the fore for deliberations as the union threatens to embark on indefinite strike action if their demands are not met.
The patience of our members has reached its limit. Let it be clear, the patience of our members has reached its breaking point. We have endured enough and we will no longer tolerate being ignored and left to suffer in perpetuity. The public must hold the government accountable for its negligence and its failure to honor agreements. If industrial harmony collapses, we will not rest until these issues are resolved. The time for inaction is over. The government must do what is right before it is too late.
Reacting to the development, the State Commissioner for Tertiary Education stressed that 4 out of their 6 demands have been addressed, as he sues for peace with an assurance that the state government is prioritizing their demands. He explains that the arrears of earned academic allowances and withheld salaries were inherited from previous administration, and the present administration is taking deliberate steps to clear all backlogs.
We sympathize with the situation, but the government is not adamant about it, because the last time they threatened, I think it was around November last year, we gave the academic staff 70 million and the non-academic staff 30 million, apart from the 50 million they were talking about in February given to them.
As the threat of a strike action looms, the state government is asking ASU to be considerate in their demands by taking into account the lean resources available to the state.
And on business news, sub-nationals have been asked to maximize opportunities in the new electricity law and participation in electricity distribution as an executive dialogue in Lagos. Stakeholders believe that the distribution segment of the power sector that requires continuous capital investment, discipline and effective regulation.
The importance of development of sustainable electricity for any economy has never been in doubt. This motivated a new legal framework, which was approved by President Bola Tinubu in 2023. It brings the substations to the fore. This meeting, tagged the Executive Electricity Dialogue, is to discuss the future of electricity distribution in Nigeria.
The future of electricity distribution in Nigeria will be built on execution, not explanation. Let us therefore live with a renewed commitment to partnership. It is time for the state government to take responsibility in activating the autonomy, engage investors, build the energy future their people deserve.
The private sector is in tune with this line of thought.
We believe that wire transmission, generation transmission, and all other parts are like the heart of electricity. The distribution network are the arteries through which this electricity flows to everyone.
The subnationals are major players in the new law.
For all market participants to cooperate with each other to ensure that we have an alignment that will attract additional investment, bring new technologies, and enable the whole sector to become a very viable place for people to put their cash flows.
We must enhance the transmission systems in Nigeria. In other climes, like we have seen in the lectures we had today, other nations are building smart grids, and here we are still benching or relying on our old national grid that cannot satisfy the growth of the population of Nigeria.
Dominating views at the executive dialogue is that sustained collaboration among stakeholders would eventually help Nigeria overcome its power supply challenges and usher in a more reliable electricity future.
Now, out of over 500 applicants, 250 youths have concluded an intensive training which lasted for 15 days across 7 vocational tracks, which include fashion design, solar installation, electrical installation, catering and food business, digital skills and freelancing, among others. The program, organized by Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board in collaboration with Jake Riley Academy, ends with a package of a starter pack aligned with their area of training to enable them to immediately begin their chosen trade.
To learn from those who have gone before you, take the skills. Nigeria's greatest resource, everybody says, is our oil, but really it's not. It's what is beneath our soil. It's the talent, it's the creativity, and it's the potential of our young people. The NCDMB's investment in this training program is an investment in Nigeria's future prosperity. As His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, declared, from the earliest days of my administration, I made a firm decision that Nigeria's youth will not stand on the margins of national development. And this commitment, he said, is not political, it's personal. The president has further charged young Nigerians to build boldly, innovate courageously, and scale fearlessly. You are the generation that will continue the task of building this country. And I bring this quote because I feel that it applies directly to every one of you that is here today. When we embarked on this journey together, we made a commitment to you. We promised that this will not just be ordinary training. We promised to equip you with skills that are immediately deployable, market ready, and capable of generating income from day one.
And that's where we drop the anchor on this edition of News at 5. I'm Dominic Iwiwu. Up next is The World Today. Enjoy the rest of your evening.